Hi, Shania, and thanks for joining me for Contraception Conversations. Before I get into my specific questions, I was hoping you could tell us a little about yourself, like your pronouns, where you live, what are your hobbies, and what has been your career path?
So currently I'm living in Texas, but I am actually from New England in northern Vermont. My pronouns are she, her. I like in my free time, I like to play video games. I'm really into cooking, probably my favorite thing ever. Um, I really love movies and TV. Music is a big interest of mine. I really love Spotify, helps me discover a lot of cool music. Um, and for my career path, currently I work at Starbucks. I'm trying to work my way up. I just got an ASM position, but I did go to school for baking and pastry arts. So one day I might end up back in a kitchen.
So my first question is, what feelings have you had about becoming a parent throughout your life, and have they changed over time?
Growing up, as probably most people do, I definitely did imagine myself being a parent, and I had a lot of thoughts about it. Through most of my adolescence, I definitely couldn't wait to become a parent. But as I've become an adult and had some experience, freedoms, and experience financial situations, I've realized that it's not always the easiest path. Kudos to people who are parents and become parents. But for me, I think that it would make my living situation a lot more complicated, and I just don't think that it's in my cards.
So why did you choose the Childfree by Choice path?
The primary concern for me is finances. Growing up, my mom didn't have a lot of money. She tried her best, most parents do, but it still was a struggle, and I still knew it even as a child. And so now I'm getting to a point in my life where I'm more comfortable financially. I'm trying to pay off, student loan debts and cook fancy food that I like in my free time, and trying to be healthier, spend a lot of time growing myself. And I know that if I had a child, then I would have to spend a lot of time doing that, and I wouldn't be able to spend as much time on things that I enjoy doing. I wouldn't have the money to do things I enjoy doing. Another big factor is also just kind of the state of the world we're living in. It's pretty stressful.
So what contraception methods have you used and to remain child-free, and what has been your experience with them?
So I started using the birth control pill when I was like 13 through age 18, primarily to try to help regulate my menstrual cycle. I had a lot of side effects from the pill. I had really bad migraines. I'm sensitive to estrogen. But when I was 18, I got the implant in my arm. And so I've been using that for the last 6 years, going on 7. I have had some side effects from this as well, but it has been 100% effective at preventing pregnancy, which is the primary reason for using it. I think that it'll probably continue being the method that I use until I decide to research more or reach out to doctors about potential sterilization.
When you made the choice to be child-free, how did your partner, peers, and family react?
The person that I'm currently with, we've been together for 3 years, and he is 10 years older than me, so he already knew that he was child-free. So that has not been like a what if conversation. We both know we don't want children, which has helped a lot in coming to terms with that with myself. I haven't struggled having a partner that wants something totally different than what I want. I think for my mom, it's a little hard for her just because she would like grandchildren, but I think she's okay with not having grandchildren if it means that I am happy with my own life and feeling successful in my own life, because ultimately she just wants me to be happy.
What has been the biggest challenge about choosing to be child-free?
So this is one that I see a lot of other child-free people kind of struggle with. This question is like thinking about as you age. And a lot of people think, well, I'm going to have kids because my kids are going to take care of me when I'm older, which is not always the case. Not every child takes care of their parents as they age. There's a lot of things that can happen, a lot of variables. So I don't think that I'd want to put all my eggs in that basket. But it's one of those things I've maybe just try not to think about all the time is what's going to happen one day.
On the flip side, what has been the best part about choosing to be child-free?
Definitely just the freedoms, being able to go where you want and do what you want without having to think about a babysitter, without having to think about, the things that I have around my house, like can my child grab these scissors that I left on the counter? Just a lot of things that I don't have to think extra about because I'm like 100% responsible for another human being. There's just a lot of freedom involved.
Yeah. What's one piece of advice you'd give people who know they don't want children?
Probably just to, follow your gut, and not to do it just because everybody around you seems to be doing it or because people in your life really want you to. It's a life-changing decision to have children, and it's it's something you will dedicate your life to. When you make that decision, you can't go back. So, if you know for sure you don't want children, definitely not let pressure get to you, because if you have children, you might not change how you feel. You'll still not want children, but have them. And that's not great.
And last question, are there any resources you'd like to share? Somewhere where you found community with other child-free people, or books or podcasts?
I have not delved too deeply into the community of child-free people, but I am in a Facebook group called Respectfully Child-Free, as well as one called I'm Child-Free and This is Animal Crossing. That has been one of my biggest solaces the past year, is putting a lot of time into that game. Another thing I probably wouldn't be able to do with children. But I think that those are really good resources. You can join those groups even if you're not 100% sure that you're child free, or if you're just, toying with the idea. There's a lot of people in those groups who just need support. So I think that those are good places for people to look.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with us today.
Of course.